Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all to the third session of Business Studies class. Today, we are going to take up the topic classification of business activities. Whenever we think of venturing into business, the first question that comes to our mind is, what kind of business are we going to do? What line of business are we going to take up? I hope that this topic will help you to find answer to your question. The business activities can be broadly classified into two parts, that is industry and commerce. That means if you want to go for a business sector, you can either go into industry line or you can go for commerce. Industry deals with the production of something new. You are creating something new using the raw material. Whereas commerce is concerned with buying and selling that product. You are not creating anything new in this area. First of all, we'll take up the industry sector. Commerce will be covered up in the second video. So industry simply means conversion of raw material into useful goods. As I said, you're taking up the raw material and changing its form or its shape to make a product which you can sell out in the market. Industries can be of three types, that is primary industry, secondary industry and tertiary industries. Now this classification you've already done in class 10th. So let's take it once again. Primary industry. Now primary industry is the industry which is concerned with nature. You're not producing anything new here. Rather, you're just taking out whatever nature gives you. You can take out the products from the soil, maybe from water, maybe from the earth, or maybe the living organisms. Primary industry can be classified into extractive industry and genetic industry. Now, as the name suggests, extractive industries comes from the word extract. Extract simply means to take out from air, water, or could be soil. Some of the examples for this could be agriculture industry, fishing, mining, or could be hunting. Second we have is genetic industry. Genetic means multiplying the genes for the further reproduction so that you can sell out their product in the market. You can take up poultry farming, dairy farming, sericulture, could be horticulture, or you can take up your nurseries. So whatever the output is there, you can sell this out in the market. So this is basically the primary sector, which I repeat can be classified into extractive and genetic industry. Now the second comes the secondary industry. In secondary industry, you are using the raw material from the primary sector and then creating a new product to be sold to the market. So let's take up secondary industry. Now, when I say secondary industry is taking the raw material from the primary sector, converting it into useful goods, the goods could be either the consumer goods or could be the intermediate goods. The question arises, what is the consumer good? Consumer goods are those goods which are consumed by the consumer or the end user. For example, you go to the market to buy a register to do your classwork or could be your homework. So that is a consumer good. Intermediate good. Intermediate goods are those goods which are used in the factories for further production. For example, you are having a factory where you are manufacturing machines. Now these machines you are selling to the textile industry where these are being used to make cloth. So that is the intermediate goods. So secondary industry could deal with making of consumer goods or you can make intermediate goods. In secondary sector, you have two options. You can either go for manufacturing or you can go into construction business. For construction business, you require skills, that is the architectural skills and engineering skills. If you do not possess these, you cannot take up construction business. So if you want to go for construction of the shopping malls, complexes, maybe multiplexes, could be building of bridges and the highways and all, you need to possess the architectural and engineering skills. The second we have is the manufacturing sector, that is the actual production sector. Here you are creating form utilities. Form utilities simply means you are changing the form of the product to make it more useful for your consumer. Manufacturing has four further options, that is analytical industry, synthetic industry, processing industry and assembling industry. We'll first talk about analytical industry. Now, analytical industry is an industry where one single raw material is used to get different products. A classic example for this could be the crude oil. You extract crude oil from the seabeds and send it to the refineries. In the refineries, from the crude oil, we get LPG, petrol, diesel, grease, maybe Vaseline and many more products. So one raw material gives up different products. This is called analytical industry. The second that we have is synthetic industry. In synthetic industry, we are artificially producing something. Different raw materials are combined together to get one product. The examples for synthetic industry could be cement, paints, cosmetics, etc. The third comes the processing industry. In processing industry, one raw material is subjected to different processes to get the finished product. For example, the ruffle lays that you eat. The raw material that is used is potatoes, and then those potatoes are sent through the factories, different processes to get different flavors of chips. You can even take the example of the textile industry. The cotton provided by the farmers is converted into fiber, and then fiber is converted into thread, which is then converted into your clothes. The fourth kind of industry that is covered under manufacturing sector is assembling industry. Assembling simply means different components are combined together to get one final product. The classic example could be the automobile industry. Like in the automobile industry or in a car plant, the different components or the parts of a car are assembled together to give you the final car. So all this comes under the secondary sector. The third kind of industry is the tertiary industries. Now, tertiary industry is also called as the service sector. This sector provides services to the primary industry and the secondary industry. You will also cover this concept under commerce as auxiliaries to trade. We'll take up this concept in details in the next videos. For now, tertiary sector provides different kinds of services to the business. Services like banking, transport, communication, insurance, warehousing, packaging and advertising. All these services facilitate the production in the industry. So that's all for now. Please go through the pages once again and try to get the hang of the concept. Thank you.